Our congressional correspondent, Kilmeny Duchart, she has the House Republican Conference Chair, Lisa McClain, standing by with her for new reaction. Kilm, take it away.
Bob, Lydia, good to be with you. We just heard a visibly frustrated House Speaker Mike Johnson, along with Republican leadership, simply saying no deal to what was passed in the Senate very early this morning, which, of course, is funding for the Department of Homeland Security, but does not include ICE and CBP funding. Of course, I have the privilege of bringing in the House Republican Conference Chairwoman Lisa McClain, who was part of that conversation, to weigh in. Why is this a bad deal?
This is a horrible deal, and I'm going to read to you why this is a bad deal. This isn't my opinion. This is actually what's in the deal, right? In one big, beautiful bill, we funded ICE and CBP. What this bill says is, and don't take it from me, it's right in the bill, U.S. Immigration and Custom Enforcement in the Department and Homeland Security Act 2026 table shall be $0 for Homeland Security. That is 100% absolutely unacceptable. This is the Democrats' playbook. The Democrats want open border, and the best way to do that is provide zero funding. And we as Republicans are absolutely not going to let that happen. So what we decided to do was say, hey, listen, since we had 4 Democrats come along with us yesterday when we voted for the 4th time to fund the Department of Homeland Security and keep Americans safe, obviously, people are in the negotiation mood. So let's continue the negotiations for the next 60 days till May 22nd, and let's continue to negotiate. But while we continue to negotiate, don't you think it makes sense for the people who are keeping us safe to get paid? Republicans do.
Chairwoman, speaking of that, I think the biggest question that Americans want to understand from what the proposal is, they don't always understand continuing resolution and all of these terms that we use frequently on Capitol Hill. How quickly under this plan would DHS reopen, and would we see some relief in those security lines?
Well, if we could get the Democrats to come on board with us and actually pay the TSA workers and CBP and Homeland Security, we could do this rather quickly, right? We are going to put this on the floor as soon as possible. Rules is going to meet this afternoon, and we're going to get it on the floor as soon as we possibly can get it on the floor, possibly even tonight.
All right. Thank you, Chairwoman. We appreciate your time. Thank you for that. And of course, what was passed out of the Senate did not include any concessions or ICE reforms. That is something that I asked House Democratic Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries about. He has said that they got what they wanted as part of this deal, which is not a single dollar more for ICE and CBP. And of course, as you heard the chairwoman just lay out there is no money for either of those organizations. And in fact, it goes a step further and retracts those funds from the One Big Beautiful Bill. Lydia, Bob.
Kilm, just real quick, while we got her to explain again, this is kind of jarring to hear. No money in what just came out of the Senate for ICE. That is the way it's set up.
Not just ICE. The Department of Homeland Security Act, Table 2026, shall be $0. So $0 for all of Homeland Security, which in essence would leave our borders wide open.
But that's what they...
That is unbelievable.
Representative, do you believe that's what Democrats want? They want open borders. They want our country vulnerable. We're talking about $0. Democrats vote for Department of Homeland Security. Is that the agenda here?
Well, I can't think of another agenda with $0 for funding for Homeland Security. And they're on record. They support violent criminals. They want open borders. I mean, just take a look. 20 million people came through under the Democratic leadership. So this is their playbook. We're not going to let that happen.
All right, we'll leave it right there. Kilmeny Duchart, Congresswoman McClain, thank you both.
Information. Truth. Is freedom. Is Newsmax. It's real news for real people.